DocTalk is brought to you by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we're shaping the future of animal health with pioneering science, connected technology, and insights-driven solutions to bring our customers an unparalleled portfolio of choices to improve cattle care and operational efficiency. We support you and your legacy by helping you meet the challenges of today with the innovations of tomorrow.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. We're at NCBA today and I have a special guest, Mallory Bormann Liss. She's with Merck Animal Health. We're going to talk about new technology. We're going to talk about cow calf, SenseHub, monitoring, and much more. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back.
They're here, they're hungry, and they can't be stopped with ivermectin. Choose Safeguard when you deworm your cattle to take out resistant parasites like brown stomach worm, Cooperia, Nematodirus, and others. With Safeguard's efficacy, you can kill more resistant worms in your cattle, so you don't leave potential on the table. Consult your veterinarian for the diagnosis and treatment of parasitism. Then bite back at safeguardworks.com.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson and I'm here with a special guest, Mallory Bormann Liss. And Mallory is a sales representative for Merck Animal Health. She is in charge of the cow calf and monitoring systems, the SenseHub technology.
Correct.
And it's just, for me, it's just a fascinating technology and world that we're opening up. And here we are at the National Cattlemen's Beef Association meeting in San Antonio shooting this show. Yes. So thanks for being on the show.
Well, I appreciate it and the opportunity to sit here and talk with you today, Dr. Thompson.
That's going to be great.
Yes.
All right, so let's jump into this and let's define what producers need help with. What is this? What's the problem? And we'll talk about the solution later.
Yeah, so I would say the biggest problem that producers maybe are running into right now is just being able to get cows bred faster. Do they have the amount of time to go out and watch heats on cows? Because bottom line, getting cows bred, as a calf on the ground is more dollars in that producer's pocket. So big thing I hear every day is how can I get this? What can I use this technology for to improve my cow management breeding windows in my operation?
Okay, and so it's getting the cows bred. But it's probably also trying to get a tighter calving window
yep.
as well. And that, if we don't do that, there's some issues that occur, correct?
Correct. Yeah, so if guys aren't getting cows bred faster, cows are getting later in their calving window, which then is, younger calves that maybe guys don't ideally want, or open cows because we're not getting them bred right. And no one wants to hold an open cow open, for extra months than they need to.
Yeah, and when we look at our vaccine protocols and our branding protocols, having more of those calves at the appropriate age is important for their immune development.
Correct.
Also, when we're trying to pick out replacement heifers, right? Getting that 1 or 2 or 3 month head start.
Yeah.
Towards cycling and being part of the herd.
Yep.
All of that is
it's
something.
A big factor. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what producers are the bottom line of their herd. So
when you start to think about replacement heifers and you start to think about getting heifers bred and cows bred, what are some of the things when you're sitting there talking to producers on a day-to-day basis? What are some of their pinch points?
Yeah, so when I sit and talk to a producer, I kind of want to know how the operations run, when they're breeding, what they're looking for, how their breeding operations are. Are they using a protocol? Or are they not? They're trying to get more natural heat. So their biggest problem is just getting cows bred. What are we doing wrong that we're not getting cows bred? Are we not heat checking good enough? Are we not feeding correctly at a proper time? Guys are just like, I got to get cows bred. That's their biggest.
And another one that I see, and I don't know, maybe I'm the only one seeing it, but labor.
Yeah.
Is an issue, and not only labor quantity, but the quality of labor that knows that
Correct.
no cows and no heat and.
Correct. Yeah, and for guys that or you know, females or gentlemen that work off the farm and don't see their cows while they're at work from 8 to 5, you know, and they don't have someone there checking cows or anything. So they really want to, you know, be able to have something in their pocket to know, you know, what's going on with their cows. Like you said, labor or just not being around the farm.
Yeah. And you know, everybody has a second job or third
three,
job
yep.
to support our habits.
Yeah.
But these are important issues, and
Yeah.
getting those calves on the ground, getting a tight calving window, making sure we can detect heat, all of it is something that is big time dollars down the road and staying sustainable.
Correct. Absolutely. I agree.
Great. All right, we're going to take a break here at DocTalk. When we come back, more with Mallory Bormann Liss. We're going to talk about SenseHub Cow Calf. You're joining us from San Antonio. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kirk Ramsey with Neogen. Today on Cattle Intel, we're going to talk about selecting needles for synchronization protocols. Synchronization protocols always require a hormone injection. And there are a few really important factors that we have to remember when approaching hormone injections in cattle. All hormone injections of prostaglandin analogs have to be given in the muscle. If those injections fail to get in the muscle, they're definitely not going to be as effective, and they're probably going to lead to synchronization failure. This means that depending on the animal's size, needle length and gauge are really important. Probably the best rule of thumb is just to stick with a 1.5-inch needle for intramuscular injections of hormones. Gauge of the needle is a little bit less critical, but the longer the needle, the more likely they are to bend or break, making these injections dangerous to the injector as well as the animal. For most cattle injections, you should probably stick with an 18 gauge, or often a 16 gauge is preferred. When giving these injections, always follow beef quality assurance guidelines for injection sites. This means that the injections are best given in the muscles of the neck. Last, remember, hormones associated with cattle synchronization can be very dangerous. It's good practice not to handle these hormones if you are pregnant or may be pregnant. And always wear gloves and protective equipment when giving these injections. Hopefully these tips have been helpful, and if you have further questions, you can always follow up with your local veterinarian.
Thanks for watching Cattle Intel by Neogen.
Are you a cattle feeder looking to manage for a stronger and more profitable set of cattle? Look no further than Igenity Feeder. Igenity Feeder utilizes DNA to gain insight into your cattle's genomic potential, with the information to predict performance, quality, and economic endpoints for cattle feeders. Animals are scored and ranked in a simple format, driving more precise and accurate management decisions. Igenity Feeder gives you the power to predict days on feed, manage variability within lots, characterize carcass performance, and focus on metrics important to you and your operation. With the data provided, you will identify superior animals earlier and maintain high operational efficiency. Maximize your profit and optimize performance with Igenity Feeder.
I've been a veterinarian since 1987. My wife and I set up a practice in Monette, Missouri in 1989. We started using therapies shortly after it came out. I was overwhelmed with the positive response that we were getting from producers. They could noticeably see a difference. I have to admit that I was pretty skeptical at first. I am currently 110% sold on the product. There is no doubt in my mind that this is an added product that we can use on these cattle that is going to make a significant difference.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson here with Mallory Bormann Liss. We're at San Antonio, Texas. 85 degrees in February, I'll take it.
Yep.
And we're talking about technology that Mallory is a salesperson, director here working at Merck Animal Health. And she works with cow-calf operations, monitoring systems, SenseHub. So talk to me about SenseHub. What exactly is SenseHub Cow Calf?
Yeah, so Merck Animal Health has brought this new great technology to the market, like you said, called SenseHub Cow Calf. So it is a real-time accelerometer tag that detects reproduction and health. So it'll send you a heat index alert when the cow is ready to be bred. and it may send you a health alert if there's something going on that the cow is, out of her normal, what we call baseline.
Okay. And so it's monitoring the behavior of the animal, or, how does this work?
Yeah, so it's all based off of rumination and activity, so ear activity. So, as you know, when activity increases, rumination more than likely decreases, and that's where we get some sort of alert, whether it's an estrus reproduction alert or it's a health monitoring alert.
Okay. So this goes in the ear.
Correct. It can go in any ear, left or right, wherever the producer prefers.
How does it monitor rumination and...
Yeah, so there's an algorithm. This tag is solely designed for the beef cow. So there's an algorithm that's working in the background showing what kind of she is doing. So like her eating behavior or her walking behavior, laying down behavior, that is always being monitored in the background. That's how it kind of detects her activity and her rumination.
Okay, and so then all of a sudden something changes.
Yes.
And that change, since you're monitoring it the entire time, it's easy to pick that change up and say, hey, I don't know what's wrong, but there's something odd.
Correct. With this cow.
About Hildegard today. Not doing what she's supposed to be doing.
Correct.
Okay, so now when we look at that, how many tags and what's the range of this?
Yeah, so there's no amount tag that a producer, need to buy. If they want to buy one, that's fine. If they want to buy 1,000, that's great. There's no amount of tag that a producer needs to buy. And the tag, the cow has to be within 1/4 of a mile of the controller receiver to get that information. The information is every 20 minutes is being taken of what the cow is doing. So then that way it can be sent back to the controller. And then from there, it can go to either a person's phone, iPad, or computer, however they want to get the information sent to them.
So when you're talking about 1/4 mile from a reader, can you have multiple readers set up per ranch or per farm, and then based on what pasture they're in, we have different readers that are picking up the activity?
Yes, sir. So we do what we call a site survey with the producer, and we sit down with them to kind of see where the cows are going to be monitored at and how it's going to be picked up with the data.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a hardware component, there's a wearable component.
Yep.
And then I assume it's pretty seamless to set it up and get it running.
Very easy install. We have made this very easy for the cow-calf producer because Lord knows, they're busy doing other things, but very easy. We can also have a tech come install it if needed.
Perfect. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how people are utilizing this technology and how we're adopting it within the cow-calf herds. You're watching DocTalk, and we're sure glad you joined us.
Every farmer knows that understanding the landscape is the most important ingredient for success. When it comes to investing in precious metals, United Patriot Coin can help steer you in the right direction. No obligation, just solid advice. Call now for your free guide, 844-202-7834.
When it comes to treating BRD, you want a product that you can count on to get the job done at an affordable price. Macrosyn by Bimeda delivers on both. A straight-shooting, no BS tulathromycin that does what it's supposed to do. End of story. You don't need to take our word for it, though. Go to macrosyn.com for customer testimonials and head-to-head trial results. For your cattle and your bottom line, choose Macrosyn.
In the livestock industry, castration is a common practice to ensure proper herd management. All methods are painful, regardless of the age of the animal. At Solvit, we could not ignore the clear industry need for better castration solutions. So we developed LidoBand, a novel lidocaine-impregnated elastrator, addressing the pain associated with band castration. It provides local anesthesia throughout the castration process. LidoBand, a small device that can make a big difference.
Ranchers, looking to elevate your pasture management game? Turn to Heinen Brothers for expert aerial application. With state-of-the-art equipment and seasoned pilots, we deliver precision treatments right to your fields. From fertilizers to herbicides, Heinen Brothers has your pasture covered. Visit HeinenBrosAg.com to learn more.
When the ones who have your heart need your help, count on us for everything they deserve, delivered fast. We'll work hard for you so you can work hard for your dreams.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. We're here at NCBA in San Antonio, Texas. I'm here with Mallory Bormann Liss, and Mallory is a salesperson for Merck Animal Health. Cow Calf SenseHub is what we're talking about, and it's a wearable technology. Helps you find those cows in heat. It helps you find cows that have ADR, ain't doing right. Many different things that this technology can monitor the behavior and monitor the health and reproductive performance of your herd. And we kind of talked about what the issues were, what we're trying to solve, how the technology is set up at the ranch and farm. Now let's talk a little bit about how people are utilizing this technology.
Yeah, so Dr. Thomson, I would say like the producers we focus on are mostly producers that are utilizing AI in their herd, or embryo technology, ET. So those are the main guys that we kind of have focused the SenseHub Cow Calf technology with, because they are, utilizing, pretty specific, good high dollar value of animals. So that's kind of where we focused on the SenseHub Cow Calf technology. So they're either utilizing it, putting it in embryos, so they can track cows, they can put a right grade embryo in a cow, or just being able to utilize sex semen in cows, because we have that option to do a sex semen window to when breed cows at the right time.
So this thing is monitoring 24/7.
Absolutely.
And I assume then we're picking up heats that we would maybe not see if we're just doing spot checks and certain time. And so as people utilize this, how are most people having the information come back to them on which cow to go do? Is it cell phone or?
Yeah, I would say most of the operations I work with, all the guys get it on their cell phones usually. There may be someone the manager sitting in the office that can look at the graphs a little bit better on the dashboard, but most of guys will get it alert on their phone.
Okay.
Yep.
So then it's coming to our phone. We get a list. We get a list of the cows or the heifers.
Yep.
Go gather them. How often are people breeding? You know what I'm saying? I was like,
days. It varies with days. So if you're just trying to pick up natural heats, there could be 1 or 2 a day, or none, or 5. Operations that are still usually utilizing their sync protocols, they might be just grouping those cows, so they know this day is these many cows, the next day it might be these groups of cows, or they're being able to, when they're running, instead of time AI and everything, they're solely just pulling the ones that showed a good heat that day. So it's just kind of depends on the operation and how they want to use it.
So what advantage or what's the difference in some of the breeding rates, conception rates between not using it and using it? What are some of the various success stories you've seen?
Yeah, so the operations that have had really good success, and they'll call me and say, hey, I'm just, it's picking up cows all the time. I got a second group of cows in that it picked up. They don't tell me exactly what their conception rate is, but they'll say, it's a higher percentage than what we've seen in the past, because these second heat cows, we'll be able to catch them up faster, breed them on when they came in off their natural heat, or be able to put an embryo back in. So then that way, they can do that faster. We're working on getting some more data on the conception rate. The feedback has been good with the conception rate that they've seen.
That's excellent. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up here in San Antonio with Mallory Bormann Liss. You're watching DocTalk with our partnership with Merck. We're glad you joined us.
Success in the cattle business hinges on a lot of different people playing their part. From the vet to the cowboy and the nutritionist to the feed truck driver, you rely on them to get their job done right, and so do your cattle. Your expectations for the vaccines you use should be no different. Bimeta's cattle vaccines were developed and are made and sold by men and women in the cattle business. No smoke and mirrors, just real-world protection that you can rely on. Go to BimetaBiologicals.com to learn more.
Hey folks, for your firearm and ammo needs, for gun safes and much, much more, and to have it personalized, come visit us at United Patriot Supply outside of Seneca, Kansas. You can also visit us online at UnitedPatriotSupply.com. Be sure to say that Dr. Dan and DocTalk sent you, and we'll see you down the road.
Hey, I'm Clark Victory. I grew up right here on this little ranch near Chelsea, Oklahoma. Roped and ranched all my life. A few years ago, I had an injury that created what they call a frozen shoulder. And after speaking with the surgeon in Tulsa, he told me that he could make my shoulder better if he did surgery, but he absolutely couldn't fix it. And I called Kansas Regenerative Medical Center. I did the stem cell replacement. By 12:30, my wife and I had had lunch and was driving back to Chelsea. We work around here. Some days we work pretty hard around here, and my right shoulder doesn't get sore. It's like a baby's arm.
When you spot BRD in your cattle, that's your golden opportunity to target infection and its associated fever with a single dose of Resflor Gold, the industry standard dual therapy. To learn more, talk to your Merck Animal Health rep or your vet and see label at resflorgold.com. Animals intended for human consumption must not be slaughtered within 38 days of treatment. This product is not approved for use in female dairy cattle 20 months of age or older, including dry dairy cows.
One animal has this huge impact on your operation.
BVDV is one of the most costly bovine diseases, with losses of $15 to $88 per head.
The virus will actually cross the placenta and get into the fetus. As it's developing, its immune system will recognize that virus as it's supposed to be here. And so then that's where our persistently infected animals come from. They're going to shed that virus their entire life, and then it's going to impact your operation.
It is important to work with your local veterinarian and partner with IDEXX for the best solution for your operation.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. We're here at San Antonio, Texas. I'm here with Mallory, Bormann, Liss. We're at the National Cattlemen's Beef Association trade show, and we have people all around us here today, and been a great turnout here in San Antonio.
Yes, been busy.
Been very busy, and you're busy because she is helping with the sales of the new technology called SenseHub Cow Calf. And this technology helps you detect cows and heifers in heat, helps you improve conception rates, helps you tighten up that calving interval. And has it been successful? I mean, has it been popular?
It has. It has. The SenseHub Cow Calf technology was launched in October.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's been a race, a fast-paced race. I mean, it is popular. People constantly want to hear about it, and it's been great, Dr. Thomson. It's been good.
That's awesome. So let's talk about some of the stories then.
Yeah.
What are some of the success stories or people that you've visited with? Because you travel all over and work with so many incredible ranchers.
Yeah.
But what are some of the success stories? And we can protect the name of the innocent.
Correct,
you know.
yes.
But
yeah. So I actually got a phone call. It was kind of an aha moment for a customer. He continuously had a cow that was showing up on his health report, and he's like, "She keeps showing up. Can you explain this?" I'm like, "Okay, let's look at her graph and see." And there's some drop in rumination. Maybe she didn't have a good activity. And so have you checked her? He's like, "Yeah, she kind of looks okay." I'm like, "Okay." Well, then, a couple days went by, and he's like, "She keeps showing up in my health alert." Great. Did you check her? He's like, "Yeah, she's got foot rot."
That's
so
incredible.
Just something like that. Or, a cow that was maybe kind of a bowler rider for him a lot, and she kind of consistently was coming and, showing a heat. But then he's like, now the system just tells me that she's not in heat because she's just a cow that keeps riding, but she doesn't show up on my heat watch list.
Right.
So he's like, before I maybe would assume she was coming in heat.
So that's her normal activity.
Yeah.
And so it's the computer, and that's what just amazes me about technology, folks. We have so many biases that we try to overrun or don't try to, and the technology doesn't lie.
Yeah.
The cows don't lie.
Correct.
And the technology doesn't get tired and exhausted during the breeding season, during the calving season, all these different things. It's an amazing technology. And as you are developing this, how do people get a hold of this? How do people?
Yeah, so they can, I would say, reach out to any of your Merck Animal Health representatives. You can certainly reach out to myself. If not, you can go to SenseHub-Cow Calf.com. They can fill out a form that'll send it online to one of our sales specialists, and myself or the others will call that producer back, and we'll sit and have a conversation about everything.
Well, and as many times when we're sitting here, and if I look a little distracted, folks, we got hundreds of people around us, and a very busy trade show.
Yes.
So not typically in the studio shooting the show, but as I'm going to assume that you work with a lot of veterinarians as well.
Both.
And so the veterinarians being kind of a center or another set of information to help adopt this technology, and that's kind of what we always recommend, right? Is work with that local vet.
Yeah, we've had a lot of veterinarians really come interested in it because they feel they have customers that may be interested in it. So our veterinarians, we try to keep them up to date on everything that's going on with SenseHub Cow Calf, because they're just as much kind of involved in it as the producer can be.
Yep. We aren't just there for the Saturday night winter storm C-section.
That's right.
We can help.
Correct, yes.
But I just want to say this has been great, and thank you so much for being on the show.
It's been awesome talking with you, and like I said, guys, it's been busy, but it's been good.
That's great. Remember, if you want to find us at DocTalk, you can find us on the web at www.doctalktv.com. Always work with your local veterinarian. From San Antonio, Texas, I'm Dr. Dan Thomson with Mallory, Bormann, Liss, and we'll see you down the road.
At Merck Animal Health, we support you and your legacy by helping you meet the challenges of today with the innovations of tomorrow.